St. Peter's friends. I am going to tell you a story today, but first, that question, have I ever run out of anything? Yeah, you know what? One time I was printing something and it was kind of important and I needed to get this whole thing printed on several pages and I ran out of paper. Oh no. So what did I do? Well, I went to the recycling box and I found some paper that only had stuff on one side. So I flipped it over and put it in the printer. I just had to make do. It wasn't great, but it helped me solve my problem that day. So today we're going to talk about some things that Jesus was telling his friends. And, you know, there were a lot of people that were following Jesus and he'd been really busy. He was healing people and teaching them. And sometimes after you had a really busy time like that, he liked to go away and just go somewhere, kind of, you know, to just, I don't know, maybe relax. Sometimes he invited his friends though. And one of the things that he did, he liked to go up on a mountain. And to get there, had to go on a hike. I'm outside today. This is an area kind of behind my house where I live. And there's a really cool spot up here I want to show you. When you get there, you kind of feel like you're on top of a mountain. But to get there, we have to go on a bit of a hike. So I brought my backpack. I've got some stuff in here. I'll show you when we get there, okay? Let's go. We're really climbing and it takes some energy to hike. That's okay. Come on, come with me. Whew, that was a good hike. It's good when you're hiking to stay hydrated, right? So I brought some water. I told you I'd show you what else was in my bag. Well, I also brought a little snack. I might save mine for later, but if you want to go ahead and have a snack while we're doing our story time, that'd be okay. And then I brought a little blanket too, just a place to make it a bit cozy, and this is where I'm gonna sit. The thing is, what I wanted to do, I wanted to bring you up here because Jesus took his friends up to a mountain, to a high place where they could see all around, and it was a place he liked to go and relax and bring his friends there. You know, the thing is, like with the people that were Jesus's friends and followers, it was a hard time for them because when they lived, there was a few people who had all the power. They had all the money and all the land, and they had all the honor. Do you know what honor is? Honor means people have a lot of respect for you and they make you feel important and like you belong. So there were only a few people who had all this power, and most of the people didn't have much power, especially the people that were following Jesus. So he brought his friends up to this mountain to talk to them about something, a bunch of things actually, that were sort of backwards from the way that life worked where they lived. Often when Jesus talked, he said things that sort of made people go, what? What did he just say? And often when I read Jesus's words, or I hear people talking about them, I'm like, I wonder what he meant by that. So, you know, he brought them up to the mountain and he started talking to them, and he was telling them about how to be blessed. Do you know what blessed means? Blessed means being really happy, feeling content, like you have everything you need, like more than enough. We were talking before about running out of something. But when you're blessed, it's like, well, you know what? You just feel like you have everything you need. It's like a life of abundance. And so Jesus started talking to his followers about what it was like to have a life of abundance. And I want to read you like what he said to them. They must have listened to him and thought, I have to think about that a bit more. We find the words that Jesus said to his followers in the Bible, and he said this. So, like I told you before, he'd been with a whole bunch of crowds, and when he saw the crowds, he went up into a mountain, a high place like this, and he sat down, and his disciples came to him, and they started speaking, and he taught them, and this is what he said. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who are hungry and thirsty for righteousness, they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, they will receive mercy. And blessed are the pure in heart, they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they'll be called the children of God. And blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice, be glad, your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted people who came before you. That's what Jesus said. And his followers must have thought, that sounds funny. Blessed are you, happy are you when people are giving you a hard time? That sounds very strange, doesn't it? Well, these people that were with Jesus, they knew what it was like to have a hard time. They knew what it felt like to be oppressed. So when you've got this small group of people controlling all the power and all the land and all the honor, that's called an oppressive system. And those people keep doing things and making decisions because they're in charge. That just makes them more rich, more honor, more land, and everybody else gets more and more oppressed. It wasn't fair at all. And Jesus was talking to his followers about that. But he was talking about how, you know what, it's different in the kingdom of God. Kingdom of God. What does that even mean? Well, you could think about a kingdom as like a world or a way of doing things where it's all set up and usually there's a king in charge. The kingdom of God is a setup where God's in charge. And that's what Jesus was teaching his followers that day, saying, you know, it works differently when God's in charge than it does in some places where there's an oppressive system in place. So everything Jesus taught these followers of his was all about the kingdom of God and how their oppression was not on. That's not the way it's going to work. It's not the way it's supposed to work in the kingdom of God. Jesus said people would be blessed and happy. But the thing is, when others looked at those people, they thought, they don't look very happy. They don't look like everything's going their way. They look like they've actually had some kind of bad stuff happen to them. But what Jesus was teaching was, you know what? Bad stuff will happen. But in the kingdom of God, that's not the final word. It's kind of backwards from what you see. We're going to be thinking about these Beatitudes, they're called, these teachings of Jesus about people being blessed. We're going to think about them for a few weeks together. But before I go today, I wanted to actually give you a blessing. So to receive a blessing, maybe you'd like to hold your hands out like this, like I was going to give you a present, because I want to give you this blessing. And the blessing is this. It is, you are blessed. There is more than enough. We're not going to run out. There is more than enough love for you, for all of us in the kingdom of God. You are loved. Thanks, friends. I'll see you next time.